Right fellas, welcome back to part 2 of my cylinder head rebuild project. Now if you don't know, I bought a Sierra Cosworth 4-wheel drive engine from London for £5,000 and I want to rebuild it at 500 brake horsepower. I'm not sure what it's going to go in. Ideally I would like an Escort Cosworth rally car with a roll cage in, 2 bucket seats, but I want to put obviously the engine in, 500 brake horsepower engine, sequential gearbox, but I also want carpets, Bluetooth, aircon, cup holders. I want to make it a mad thing you can take out on a Sunday. But on this video we're going to take the cylinder head to engine services in Newcastle and get the head fully rebuilt. So we're going to get the camshafts in, everything like that, the lifters, the valve stem oil seals, the valve stems. So let's head through Newcastle engine services and see how to rebuild a Cosworth cylinder head. Right fellas, so I'm here at engine services in Dunstan. I've got my cylinder head. We're going to hand it over to Gordon and Gordon's going to show us how to rebuild it from start to finish. Right, so we've got the cylinder head here, Gordon. It's been welded numerous times. You've started, we're going to fully rebuild the head today. You have, obviously we've got 4 cylinders. I think you've done 3, have you? I've
done 3 cylinders. I've left a couple of cylinders just to show how it's done. I've just done the other one simply just to save me a bit of time tonight. I had a spare hour this afternoon, so I've done it this afternoon. We'll just crack on and
rebuild it.
Hopefully get it finished today.
So what we're going to start with?
First of all, you need to put your platforms on, which go on the bottom of your head seat.
This is for the spring, isn't it?
This is just for the spring to sit on. So they just pop in. It's important to remember to put these on because once you...
Probably one, Gordon. Just a quick. Yeah. So it's like a washer with a...
Yeah, it's just for the spring to sit in.
So it doesn't damage the aluminium head?
Basically the spring just sits in there like that just to stop. Obviously the alloy is quite soft and the spring through time would bed itself into the head. So you just sit on that metal platform.
Prevent damage to the head.
But you've got to remember to put them on before you put your valve stem seals on, because once your seals is on you kind of get them on. You'll not go over the seal.
Oh, right.
So you've got to put them on and then the seal goes on the top of the valve guide over the top of them. So you just pop them in there.
So you literally just drop that in?
Just drop them in, make sure they're sitting flat on the head.
No lock tight or anything?
No, they just sit there. They've got to sort of...
find the one seat?
Yeah, they float and rotate. It's there, sitting in there as they should.
Oh, is it in a little... are you knocking it in there? Is it in like a little cutout?
They sit over the top of the valve gate. It's just got to make sure they're kind of... Sometimes they just catch the side of the gate, so you've just got to make sure they go flat. You can hear by the sound that they are sitting flat there now. So on Cosworth you've got 2 different size valve stem seals. You've got your exhaust ones, which are 8mm.
The hole?
Yeah, for your valve stem. You've got your inlet, which are a 7mm.
They look smaller.
So that's the exhaust valve seal, that's 8mm.
The very top bit, alright, the shaft
the top bit's all the same size, which is why they use the same caps and the same valve collets, because they reduce them at the top. So that's your 8mm one, that's your 7mm one, for your 7mm seal.
And does this little rubber, this spring sit in?
No, no, that spring stays in, that keeps the seal pulled onto your valve.
Right.
So, to fit them, the old fashioned way, you would just, a lot of people used to just use a socket and tap them on with a socket. What we use is a proper tool which consists of that, yeah. So what you've got is, that's an 8mm pilot, so this is for doing the exhaust ones. That just sits in there like that. So basically, that goes on there, that goes in there, put your seal on there.
Alright.
So when you put it on, I always use just a
little bit of engine oil in there?
Just a splash of oil. It doesn't want a lot, it just helps the seal go on without tearing it.
Is that engine oil you're using?
That's just engine oil, yeah. So this is the exhaust one, so we'll just pop it onto the guide and then you just gently
pop it into place. That's it, hear the tone change as it hits the bottom.
So that's right on, so you know that seal is on nice and square, it's not going to go anywhere.
And like you say, you must put that washer on before you put the valve stem oil seal on. Joe, there's just so many little tips like this I wouldn't have knew.
I mean, see, a lot of people say, oh, I'll just put them on with a socket, and they'll just get like a long reach socket and they'll just tap it on with a socket, but you don't always get them square. It's not really good practice doing it like that. if you're kind of stuck in your garden shed and you've got nothing else, you can kind of get away doing that, but it's
not ideal.
It's not ideal. See, just tap it on, you just hear.
There, that last one.
Right, so that's for the exhaust ones. For the inlet ones, with them being a smaller seal, it's exactly the same again, but it's a 7mm pilot and a slightly different mandrel. Sits in there.
A little bit of engine oil.
A little bit of oil. All you need is just a drop like that. That's all you need, just to wet the rubber.
Here it hitting the bottom there.
Yeah, just here. You can actually, when you're doing it, you can. You can actually feel it going down as well.
I can see you moving a bit the tool. Yeah.
Right, so our bottom platforms is on, our seals is both on. These gaskets you've bought, for some reason the seals have come all the same colour. Originally Cosworth's had a green seal on the inlet and a brown seal on the exhaust. It's just a different material, that's all it is. A lot of the aftermarket seals are just all green, all one colour. Right, now we'll flip the head over. So we've got our valves, which have all been lapped in. I've vacked everything up again today after I washed everything off, and everything backs up perfect.
Good.
So these have already been pre-cleaned, but I always just give them another wipe.
There's two different diameters as well, isn't there? Is the small one's the exhaust, is that right?
The exhaust always the smaller ones. I know, I keep mentioning it. Did you ever cut a valve open or not?
No, but I will do on the video. I'll put a bit in of us doing it. So like Gordon says, these exhaust valves are sodium filled. So let's chop this one open and see what's inside. We'll put it in my vise and we're going to go straight down the middle. Oh, smoky. Turn that round a little bit. There we have it. The valve is hollow inside. Let's give it a tap, see what comes out. Absolutely nothing. I must have burnt it all up. Alright, I'll stick that in. Oh, you can feel something in there. Oh, hi, it's on the end of me drill bit. You see it coming out? That there is the sodium out the valve. Check it out, fellas. I've came back to this valve about half an hour later, and the stuff out the middle has started bubbling, it's turned black and it's expanding. So anyway, let's get back to the main video with Gordon.
Right, so that's our valves to go into them holes. I always put them in with grease. All you want is always put just a smear of grease around the seat.
Alright.
And just dip it in.
On the end?
On the end.
Why do you put a bit in the seat?
Just it helps you get a 100% seal for your initial start up.
Right.
So that there, you feel that just slides in there.
See, it's going in nice.
Right, now it's touching the seal. So that's popped into the seal there now. It's just the way I was taught all, 40 years ago, just a little bit of grease just for lubrication.
Not doing anything any harm, is it? A little bit of grease.
Yeah, you feel that yourself, you
push it
down.
in?
Yeah, wait a minute, I'll just, if you slide it down, you'll feel it'll just go down, then stop, and then you feel it just pop into the seal.
Goes in nice mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. A little bit of grease always just helps it go into the seal as well, rather than pushing, a valve through a dry bit of rubber. It could damage your seal. Same on the inlet, it's down there, it's touching the seal. Just pop it in.
That's gone.
That's it.
Last time, can you remember when the valve was bent?
Yeah.
And you said, have a look, did you notice anything on your pistons? When I had a look at the pistons in the garage, there was two tiny little marks where they must have just clipped it and bent it.
Yeah. Because we put a pair of valves in, didn't we?
Two.
Yeah, them two there actually. Yeah, it was them two there we put in. So we'll move it over to the machine to get it built. We'll just stick them 4 valve springs on. Same again, these have already all been pre-washed and cleaned.
Are these for the top of the valve springs?
Yeah, so you've got your 4 springs which we've got left.
These are just a standard springs.
Standard
nothing.
spring, yeah, there's no fancy about them.
Quite stiff then, mine, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite a strong spring. And you've got your 4 tops.
Are these just called tops, are they?
Yeah, well, the valve caps. I'll show you how the retainers work. I'll pop the valve back out just so we'll pop an exhaust out because the exhaust will not damage the seal. If it's reducing at the top, we can pull it straight out.
So is this to show us how it works?
Yeah. So basically, it goes over like that, and then you put your valve
what do you call these bits? Valve collets?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're just putting them on the grease to hold it in?
Yeah, it goes on the grease to hold them in. One on each side like that, and it goes up like that.
Then as it comes in, I can't.
Yeah, so there, obviously your valve collet is tapered, your cap's tapered, so once that's in there,
it's stuck.
That can't go anywhere. The more force you put on, the tighter the collet gets. So it's a design that's been around for
a long time.
A long time.
Decades.
Yeah.
They still use that now on modern engines?
Still use that now on modern engines. Exactly the same principle.
So what's next, Gordon?
Next is we're going to take it over to the machine, which is just a valve lifter. So just pop the springs in there. You're going to make sure when you pop them in.
Is there any way of doing this if you were in the garage, or do you need something? Or you can get like a clamp on you?
Yeah, you can, but you've still got some. You've got this sort of valve lifter which you can use, which is fine.
Does the job. Do you never use them? Not now?
I do on some things.
Yeah.
I do on some things. What you're going to watch is when you put these springs in, you've got to make sure they're sitting in the platform, not sitting to one side.
So it's not going to dig in the edge.
See that one there? That one hasn't dropped in
properly.
It has there now.
So it's got to be seated properly on the washer.
It's got to be seated properly on the washer at the bottom. Right, so this is just a.
So is this going to compress the
This is going to compress the spring.
So you can put that little collet in.
Put the collets in. Cosworths are actually quite an easy head to build because they've got quite a big single grooved collet. Some collets are like a multi-groove like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, off something like was probably with a 5.5mm stem or a 6mm stem. Right, so we'll just adjust the bed to suit.
So you're angling it so it's sitting. So this bit
so that's
going to sit flat on the.
You can fasten the heads on. I tend just to hold them. You nip it up. Now because of, like I was saying, with them being quite a big collet and a single groove, you can just pop them in like that. It's a whole lot easier.
So you just put them in loose.
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier without gloves on.
Then is this machine going to compress the spring?
Yeah, so I'm just working with the pedal on the floor here. So we'll just come down, it doesn't always work first time.
Is that it dropping in? That click?
No, that was it popping out. Now we'll do it.
Is it?
That's it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like I say, the Cosworth head are quite an easy one to build with being a big collet. Especially when your blinders are back like me.
Are the collets the same size for the exhaust and the inlet?
Yes, because the valve's reduced to 7mm at the top.
And the valve topper is the same, the spring topper?
The caps is all the same.
The caps.
The springs, the caps, everything's, the bottom retainers are all the same. It really is as simple as that. Right, so we've stuck the head on some stands.
That's just a stop mark on the bottom face, obviously.
Yeah, when we put the cams in, obviously we'll tighten the cams down, some of your valves is going to open. The last thing you want is open valves onto a hard bench because you can bend the valves dead easy. Right, so we've already put a time cert in this. I think we've done that on an earlier video, didn't we? So we've got a time cert in there.
That'll be on the previous video of this one.
Right, so
what we're going to do now?
We're going to drop the hydraulic lifters in, and we're going to drop the cams in and tighten them up.
Did I buy new hydraulic lifters?
You did, yes.
Right, so these are our new lifters.
These are hydraulic lifters, genuine Ioneer lifters.
Covered in oil by the looks of it, aren't they?
That's the boxes is always come like that and always sealed.
oil.
Yeah. Well, these is all just come ready out of the box and straight into the head.
Is it the same size for the exhaust and the inlet?
Yes, all the lifters is the same.
So what you do, just give them a wipe down and plop them in?
Yeah, they're always absolutely spotlessly clean anyway, but what I do is I'll just plonk them all along there like that.
So look one gone. So they've got a little hole in the side there which fills with oil.
That's fed with oil. There's a hole in the head there which is high pressure.
Oh, there, like there.
Yeah, just like that side. You see it easier that side actually.
Aye.
And that feeds the hydraulic lifter.
So you don't have to line them up the hole,
No,
it's got a groove.
It's got a groove all the way around, yeah.
And obviously there's no spring pressure on there now, is there? Like there's nothing to pushing that out. Does that push out when it fills with oil?
Yeah, that pushes out. That's actually probably they're sort of pre-filled out when they assembled them. They're assembled with oil, which is why it's all over the box. So I normally just pop them in like that and then
a little dab of oil.
And they should just slide in nice and free like that. If you get them square enough, they just drop in. See, so I'm oiling it there. You might think, oh, you're not oiling the other side, but look, it's into the groove and it just runs straight around anyway.
And you see they're coming oil anyway, they're not going to go rusty, are they?
No. What you're more worried about them is seizing up in the hole. But you know, before you start an engine, you should always wind it over, get your oil pressure up anyway, so you're going to feed them with oil before it runs anyway.
So what you do, pull the HT legs, legs out and just crank it? It's
best to leave the plugs out, to be honest.
Is it? So it spins freer?
And the other thing you can do on Cosworths, which is quite common, is just take your distributor out and you just put I think it's a 6mm socket down onto a cordless drill and turn the oil pump direct and get your oil pressure up before you even spin the thing over.
Right.
You can get your oil pressure up.
Do you just go out on the end of that little 6mm stick, like a bit of Allen key?
Yes, yeah, just go on the top of that. That's all the inlet ones in.
Putting the last ones in now, Gordon, are these the...
Yeah, they're the exhaust ones, yeah.
So do these come fully loaded with oil as well?
Yeah, there's oil in them, they're obviously assembled with oil. But when you turn the engine over and you prime them up, that's when they fill up properly.
Properly fill up?
Yeah.
Do they drain when the engine's sitting?
If it sits for a long time...
is that why when you start an old engine?
Sometimes when you start, my 3-door, when I start that, it's obviously been away for the winter. When I go and get that out and we'll start it, it'll probably tap for the first 5 or 10 minutes until they fill up.
Until they fill up.
And then right through the summer it'll be absolutely fine.
So what's next, Gordon?
Next is we'll get the cams put in.
So we've got all the hydraulic lifters in, haven't we?
Yeah, all the hydraulic lifters are in. We've had these bearings. I know we're kind of discussed putting new ones in. To be honest, I've checked these ones. I've washed them all out. They've been sitting in oil, clean oil for the last 6 weeks or so. And they feel absolutely fine.
Right, so we're going to reuse them.
I know some people say always reuse them, but to be honest, I don't believe in changing stuff if it's not broken. To me, they're absolutely fine.
To be honest, there seems to be more issues when you buy new parts as to just reusing the old ones that were
the trouble is you could buy new ones and you could buy them off a UK seller, and even there could be SKF or whatever, but sometimes SKF stuff's made in China now. You just don't know what you're buying. That's one of the biggest problems you get. So your cams have already been washed, but I'm going to give them another wash.
In the parts washer or the top wash?
They've been through the hot wash. We've given them a light polish as well, because there was a few little marks on them, wasn't there? So we've given them a light polish. They've been through the hot wash. We'll just give them a quick spray with some brake cleaner and then we'll get them put in.
Right.
We'll get the cleaner.
These are just the original cams, nothing?
Yeah, the original standard cams.
Right, so you've got the cams there, Gordon? Yeah,
I've just given us a good spray with brake cleaner. We'll just give them a wipe off.
Are they different?
Yeah, the exhaust cam and the inlet cams are different. You can't run them inside opposite way around if you mess around with the timing, but the inlet cam has got a groove in the main journals.
Alright.
Exhaust one
doesn't. Right. Is that for oil or is it just to identify anything?
No, it's just for oil, it's for a bit more lubrication. I always found it strange, you know, you expected to have more lubrication on the exhaust one because obviously the exhaust side of the engine runs hotter, but so we've dropped them in there.
Bit more oil.
Bit more oil, plenty of you've always got to use plenty clean engine oil when you're building them. Bearing in mind this thing might lie around until you decide what car you're going to eventually put it in.
I don't even know I'm going to put it in yet. Amy's got a new BM, if the engine blows I might stick it in there.
I've seen it done, I've seen it done. Stick these bearings on the end there. I don't know if we'll go back, if you remember when we stripped it, I think we discussed this then, you always put that gap in the circlip to the top.
To the top, is that just obviously for the oil, it's less chance of getting to the top?
Well, it's less chance of the oil leaking out the front, past that clip once it's in.
Is seals and that are going here?
Yeah, we've got cam seals to go in the front as well, yeah.
How many Cosworth heads do you reckon you've built going?
Oh.
Through your shop?
I'll put it this way, at the minute I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Cosworth engines in at the minute.
You've got 4 Cosworth engines in at the minute, have you?
Yeah, I've got a 4-wheel drive one. I've got a 3-door engine, obviously rear wheel drive. I've got another 2-wheel drive SAF engine. And I've got Escort one. In fact I've got 5 in at the minute.
And this
5 plus this. Yeah. Sometimes you never see a Cosworth engine for months and then you get a
boatload of them.
Get a boatload of them.
Out in the beginning of the summer.
Ah, you get a boatload of them.
Around.
Right, so we've got them sitting on there, ready to clamp down. Right, caps, same again. All these have been pre-washed. Been sitting in this container with the top on them.
Have they got to go in the same location they came off?
Yes, they're all numbered. What we'll do is we'll sort them all out and we'll line them up where they need to go.
Is it like one port? Is still like 1, 2, 3 kind of thing?
Yeah, they start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So you just give them another quick clean going?
Yeah, it's just brake cleaner, yeah, it just...
So that's number 1 there, so that'll go on there, that way.
Yeah. And we've got
I'm going to put that down so I'm not touching anything.
Number 3 will be there. That's you only go on one way, see how it's wider.
Oh right, yeah, the holes off.
So you can't put them on, if you try and put it on like that, you'll just never get it on. So obviously it goes that way.
That's just to make it easy when they assemble it in the factory.
I don't think it's to make it easy, it's just the way they're designed. So what I'm going to do is we'll just sit them all where we need to be and then we'll go along, we'll oil them all.
And drop them down. We haven't changed these studs either, have we? They're just the original.
They're the original studs, yeah.
Is that a jigsaw, isn't it?
It is, with similar shaped bits. So 4. That's 6. That's 5. That's 1. Right, so that's basically where they go. You can kind of tell if you... Some of them you can see easy on us there. Out there you can see the...
Oh, that's one, a little line in
the silver line round the middle. So you know that one obviously goes on the left side. Yeah. So all we'll do is, I know we've oiled everything, always just a little bit more.
I suppose you can't really put too much engine oil on an engine when you're rebuilding it.
You cannot. Like you see, at the time this might lie round, you don't know how much of that's going to run off. A lot of people use proper engine assembly lube, which is kind of more sticky. In some cases that might be better if it's going to lie around a long time, but we're putting enough on here to allow it not to be a problem as long as you wind it over before you actually start it.
I was going to say, if this is in storage for like a year or two, would you recommend putting oil in the engine, then every couple of months maybe just turn the crankshaft over so it blows a bit of oil about it?
I wouldn't necessarily say put oil in it, but if it's got a life any length of time, turn it over every every month or so, just put a socket on, wind it over a few times.
And obviously don't leave it in a damp garage.
No, definitely not. A little bit of oil down your spark plugs wouldn't harm, you know, if you leave your plugs out with oil down there, wouldn't harm. Right, so we've got in here
nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts, wood with keys. You must remember to put them back in as well. They're the oil gallery plugs.
Oh right,
We've already discussed that. We took them out both ends, so when you wash the heads, make sure you get through all your oil galleries. You should see through one end, the other. On that side, on that side. That's one of the most important things, is to get everything nice and clean before it goes back together.
I was going to say, this has been through your hot wash as well.
It's been through a hot wash. It's been through a few times, yeah.
So are them just washers?
Yeah, they're just flat washers, normal M8 flat washers. M8 nuts.
Is there an order what you torque them down to, or fasten them down to?
Yeah, you've got to. I'll show you.
If the spring's up and you clamp it down, is it possible to snap a camshaft or anything? Camshaft?
Dead easy to snap a cam.
Is it?
Dead easy.
I imagine it's quite a hard metal as well, is it?
The cams are cast iron. Obviously, cast iron doesn't bend.
It doesn't bend. Oh right, it just snap.
There's no flex.
Like carbide,
it'll snap. Yeah. So you've got to try and wind them down slowly and evenly. So we'll just stick the nuts on as far as we can. Never be tempted just to go and get the windy gun or the impact gun and rat them down. Always do it by hand. I generally just use a speed brace. That's a little bit old fashioned. People don't tend to use them very much now, but
works for you.
Yeah.
Is that staying up because of the
yeah, it's sitting on the lifters, so you've sometimes just got to work them down.
I imagine this gap's going to go, is it? Are near enough?
Yeah, they'll tighten right down. They'll tighten down solid. It's just the way the cam's sitting. Right, so we'll just start and wind them down. You've got to come down nice and evenly, gently.
Oh. So you're doing like a couple of turns each one as it goes down?
Yeah, just so we'll get it. What I sometimes do is just even leave the washer off so we can get more of a bite on the.
Alright, then take it back off and put the washer on.
Yeah, then take it off and put the washer on. Obviously them lobes there are trying to push them two front
valves. So will that be opening the valve?
It'll be starting to open the valves, whereas these back ones are sticking up here, so there's no load on the back at all. So you've got to just evenly and gently just pull them down.
When you put these ones on, is these bolts?
Yeah, they're Allen keys. We'll just nip them ones on afterwards.
You torque these down at the end, or have you got? Do you just get a feel for it?
You can just get a feel for it, but you do torque them. Yeah.
You've got no Loctite or anything on there?
No, just fit them dry. The main thing is not to over tighten them, because you will just pull the threads out. Some people sort of york away.
It's aluminium, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll pull the threads. I'm just going to back this one back off and put that washer back on.
Hey, what, Gordon, it's a while since I've seen someone use one of them speed braces.
Speed brace, yeah, it's a little bit old fashioned.
Aye, it works though.
So they're in, nipped. The front one we'll leave off because we need to seal that up. So we'll do them together. So we'll just jump on the other side and we'll just pull that exhaust cam down.
Same again, just gently.
Same again, just gently all the way along.
Right, so we've got them bolted down now, Gordon.
Yeah, we're just gonna put the front seals in. I'm gonna seal the caps up and put them on. So In this bag here, most manufacturers do is when you're buying your gaskets, they tend to sell you a headset for a Cosworth, whether it be 4 or 2-wheel drive, so you always get a spare pair of seals. 2 is front wheel drive, 2 is rear wheel drive. The big ones,
right.
the big ones, it's just to save them packaging 2 headsets really.
So if anyone's rebuilding the car and they cut left for 2 rings at the end, 2 gaskets.
2 seals, that's why. So the seal just sits in there like that, groove to the top. Sits in there like that.
That's brake cleaner?
That's brake cleaner, just to... We're going to seal these up, so if you've got any sort of oil left in there...
Oh right, it'll not seal?
It'll not seal.
Is that when you put like the silicone or something on?
Yeah. All you want is just, see the groove there?
Mm-hmm.
You just want a very fine bead, a very fine bead along there. And just wipe the head as well. So we always use L-ring sealer. It's something we've used for years, and to me it's one of the best ones, if not the best one on the market.
How much is a tube of that? 20 quid or something?
15 or 18 quid, something like that. We do buy it in and we do sell it out, but we tend to use it in the workshop more than anything. So you want just a little bead along there. Drop that on there.
Push it down.
Yeah, do the same with this one. See, back in the day, a tube of that will probably last you 6 months. We can use a tube a week now.
Really?
Most engines, most modern engines now, they're stuck together with sealer. You know, timing cases and sumps, they don't have gaskets anymore, they're just all stuck on. Right, now there's something else I've just noticed. Got one odd bolt.
One odd one?
Remember when we stripped this, one of the threads had pulled out.
I
wonder if somebody's put a longer bolt in to try and save it. Didn't notice that when we stripped it. But I'll find a bolt, we'll have that one. Yeah, I bet somebody's trying to put a longer bolt into.
I'm trying to tighten it down, it hasn't tightened.
Yeah, I bet that's what they've done.
So what are them, just M5 or M6 Allen heads?
Yeah.
Cap heads?
5s, isn't they? M5s. 6mm thread, 5mm Allen key.
Do you just tighten them down? What, do you torque them or just get a feel for it through your fingers?
To be honest, I don't torque these ones, I just nip them. The proper torque on them is probably only about 10 foot-pounds or something, yeah. So that's good enough for me on them. That's the one we'll put a time certain, I believe. That one or that one, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
I think it was. So you see, we've just pushed sealer out there. We've pushed a little bit of sealer out there, so we know
it's sealing.
Yeah. If you don't seal them up there, you'll get a little bit of oil weeping past.
Well, it hasn't came out the back there, has it? So it's not.
No, because you just put it in the groove, so it'll not get anywhere near the back. That's absolutely fine. You can either wipe it out now, or you can wait till it dries and then pick it out. I tend just to get rid of it now. The other thing is, when you put your cam covers on these, you always put a dot of the sealer there anyway.
Oh right, just that
just at the end of your half moon, so your gasket kinda. When you put your cam cover gasket on, the lugs kind of sit under there. You put a little dot of sealer on, and then push them down onto it.
Right.
So I'm just going to nip these. I am going to get me torque and shout and torque them, but I'm just going to. Same again on these, the torques from memory about 15 or 16 pound.
Well, it's all in aluminium, isn't it? And aluminium is just soft metal, so you can't get that much.
You see, I will get me torque and shout and torque these up. Not worse than getting to this stage and you go to tighten one that pulls the threads out because you've got to strip it back down. Right, so there your oil seal collars.
And they've got a big chamfer on one end, haven't they?
Big chamfer on one end, and if you remember...
Oh, there's an O-ring, isn't there?
There should be an O-ring, but there's not an O-ring. Right, so we just want a couple of rings on there.
Is that like an oil seal as well?
Just rubber O-rings, yeah. And all it does is they sit into that recess.
And the big chamfer on the...
big chamfer on there. And it just stops any oil coming down past the collar. You just go on there. See the pushing them back out, it's just the air pushing them back
Oh,
out.
right.
They will pull on. Right, what we're going to do first though, before we stick your front pulleys on, we'll put these oil gallery plugs back in because we'll not get them once the pulleys is on. So we'll stick the back two in afterwards, but we'll put the two front ones in now.
Just a little grub screw, isn't it?
That's all your little grub screw. We're going to put a little bit of
Loctite or something.
I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on them, yeah. When you use Loctite, it's always quite important just to degrease things as well.
Aye.
So we'll just do a little spray. Yeah, a little bit spray with brake cleaner.
Just to clean the threads.
Just to get the oil out of them. And this is quite a high strength retainer, this Loctite. You don't need a lot, that's all you need.
Just a little drop.
Just a little drop. Once this stuff gets a hold, it's quite tight there. We'll do the same with that one. Same again, just a little bit spray.
You don't need to torque these up, will you, with the Loctite on?
No, you just nip them in, they go tight. Once that Loctite goes off, that's
them stuck in.
That's them stuck in. They'll not leak past that. Right, they'll not go anywhere. We'll make sure I'm doing the two back ones the same one on. Not worse than building one of these up and you get the front pulleys and everything on it. Guess what I forgot?
It's quite a fine thread that on there, isn't it?
Yeah, they're probably M10 by probably one.
Or something.
Yeah, I can see them 10 by 1. Right, so that's all 4 plugs in.
And these plugs stop that's an oil gallery along there,
that's
isn't it?
your main oil gallery along, yeah.
Feed your lifters.
Which feeds your lifters, main oil gallery that side, feeds your lifters, and your turbo feed comes out that same oil gallery. So we've got your Woodruff keys.
The Woodruff key.
The vacuum is just pushing them back out. Once we get your pulleys on, it will stop that. Got your Woodruff keys just sitting there like that.
Quick little one then, Gordon, just to show people. Just like a little half moon, isn't it?
Yeah, the vacuum is just pushing that back out.
And that cam's got like a little indent in the same shape as that Woodruff key, hasn't it? So it's in.
Little half moon, so that just pushes into there.
That'll do that 100 there we go.
That's it. Right, we'll go and get your pulleys out in the office. I believe they're in the top drawer. So now you've been spending some more of your money getting these
nice new bolts.
Nice new bolts, and you've had your pulleys coated. Just makes them look that little bit nicer, doesn't it?
Right, doesn't it? To be honest, I get them done for free at work, so.
Happy days. Both pulleys are the same, there's no difference in them, in an exhaust.
I thought it was going to go on that way, but you put it on backwards to what I was expecting.
If you put them on the way you're expecting, they end up sticking out here. Well, put one on backwards just to show you.
So your belt wouldn't even work, would it?
No, the pulleys stick. Stick it right out like that. Always remember when Wheeler Dealer's done one of these up.
The magenta, the red one.
I think it was a magenta one. They had the pulleys on the wrong way around on camera.
Did they?
And then the next time it went to it, they were on the right way around. They must have realised and swapped them round off camera.
We'll take that one off and swap that one now before we forget as well. That's something I guess you would notice, or a couple of people would notice.
A lot of people probably wouldn't. Always remember there was another programme on it. Was it called The Garage or something, where they were in Spain? Some English guy set a garage up in Spain. I'm sure it's called The Garage. And
I think I vaguely remember it.
And I think they put a crankshaft in a Mini, and they had the crankshaft in the wrong way around. They had the flywheel end sticking out the front.
Did they?
On camera as well. And like you say, it's something you wouldn't notice unless you're
in the trade.
Unless you're in the trade and you're building engines all the time, you wouldn't notice. So we'll just nip these up with a ratchet and hopefully the cams will turn. If they don't turn, we've got a problem.
There you go.
So it should just flick over nicely like that. You should just get that nice little, you know, it like flicks over itself.
Alright,
be able to sort of, you go so far and then it'll flick itself. So when it does that, you know there's nothing tight, because just the force of the lifter pushing on the lobe is enough to spin it. So it's always a nice little feel to have that.
You don't see the valves will be going under there, are they?
Yeah, your valves will be opening and closing there. These front ones should be starting to open there now.
Yep.
Same on the exhaust side. Yeah, slip that pulley. So that now we've pushed that sealer in as well. That cam sleeve, oil seal sleeve.
Bit more engine oil.
And there we go.
There we go. Get on there.
Right, so we've got the torque wrench set to 15 pounds-feet, which is probably pretty much where I'm at anyway.
I imagine you get food for it, do you, Gordon, when you do it all the time?
Yeah, you kind of know when you tighten the nut. I'd say that one was on 14. That's straight around to 15. That's actually went to 16. The torque setting's 14 to 16 anyway.
So you're there anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much there with them anyway. That was on 12 to start, it's run to 15.
Right.
This snap-on gear is brilliant because it tells you exactly what you've done.
Alright.
That's 15.2 pounds-feet.
Right, so now we're going to tighten the cam pulleys
front cam pulleys, yeah. So
24mm spanner there.
we'll just put a spanner on there to hold the cam.
Maybe hold something?
Might be a little bit awkward actually. Same on the other one.
Tell you what, Gordon, it's a good job I came here because I would have got my Milwaukee impact gun and just rattled them
Whacked it up. Be surprised how many people do that.
600 foot-pound.
Yeah, I'd be surprised how many people would do that, but
no, I would have looked at
it just appears to.
I'd spend that little extra time and look for the proper settings.
Yeah, for what time it takes, and then you know the job's right. So that there now is pretty much ready to go on the engine.
Right, that's it fellas, the head is done. I'm going to take it home. A massive thanks to Gordon for letting us video and show us how to rebuild a cylinder head. I really appreciate that, mate. I've learned some good tips. And
no problem. Hopefully people find it interesting and
I'm
it
sure
gives
they
them a
will.
little bit of interest.
I'm sure they will. I'm going to get this in the car, fellas. I'll catch up with you when we get home. Fellas, we are back from Gordon's, and in here we have the cylinder head, what has been rebuilt for at least 500 brake horsepower. Now we've gone with standard cams. Everything is perfectly capable of handling the power what we're going to throw at it. Let's take it out the box. When I get it out the box, I'll show you the new rotor cover what we've got. Now we are going to keep it on bubble wrap because some of the valves are open, and if we let a valve hit like something hard, like a hard surface, there is a chance you're going to bend the valve. So there's about 10 layers of bubble wrap here to stop the valves from bending. And then under here we'll have the rotor cover that I restored. So we'll put this on, and the reason behind the rotor cover is it'll stop any dirt from getting in where the valves and everything are, just keep it nice and clean. Now we can't actually fasten the rotor cover down because when we put the head on the engine, we need to be able to get in and fasten the head bolts down. So this rotor cover can't be fully sealed on yet, but I think that looks mega with the new cam pulleys there and the nice clean rotor cover. Like I said, this is all the original stuff off the engine when I bought it from London, just all being restored. So also, I'm going to tell you how much I've spent on the engine altogether so far and how much the invoice from Gordon was. We put new valve stem guides in, they were £55. The valve stem oil seals came with the kit I bought, so we didn't buy them in this video. I did spend £75 on 2 new exhaust valves. So we'll put valves. They were 55. Now the big bill from Gordon, his prices have gone up since, so if you go to him from now, it's probably another at least 10% I would imagine gone on the bill. But for all the work I had done from Gordon, for the head, the bill came to £694 and pence, so we'll say 50 pence. So that takes our total bill to £8,506.50. That includes buying the engine and all the work we've had done so far. But yet again fellas, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more Cosworth content, don't forget to subscribe. And obviously a huge thanks to Gordon, who I'll leave his contact information below. But yet again fellas, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.